Off your golden hat, drop by, see a friend. Hey, pick up the perfect gift and get the latest trend. Without the blue or beat, let's make it ULB. It's a happening holiday time. We're full of bright ideas in extra large or small. That's right, gift certificates to give the kids and all. So have a snack, some lunch, get your holiday punch. Have a happening holiday time.
Century 3, your city frequent shopper mall.
How does man make a mountain in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania? The answer for this instance? Slag. In 1969, the United States Steel Corporation decided they wanted to find a new use for what was locally known as Brown's Dump. The property was over 400 acres, and all the industrial dumping had turned it into a mountain. It took several years to clear the land, and by the mid-1970s, buildings began to take place at the former dump. A division of the Steel Corp, called USS Realty Development, teamed up with the godfather of shopping malls, Mr. Edward J. DiBartolo. They proposed a $100 million, 1.6 million square foot shopping center, which would be called the Century 3 Mall. The name coming from the United States 1976 bicentennial. The remaining land needed was cleared out, as the mall would be anchored by 5 major retailers, 190 interior stores and restaurants, and would need room for at least 6,000 parking spaces. The mall was constructed and opened in 2 phases, the first being the west wing of the mall, which included the first 2 anchors, JCPenney and Kaufman's, on October 24th of 1979. Phase 2 would open a year later on March 12th of 1980. This included the east wing of the mall, which was 3 stories and brought the mall a food court with Gimbel, Sears, and Montgomery Ward opening in the time following. When the mall opened, it was the 3rd largest shopping mall in the world. While it didn't hold the title for long, I'm sure it was a major boost in pride for Mr. DiBartolo and all those who worked on developing the mall site. When the mall opened, it was a destination, seeing tons of shoppers daily, with many describing it as shoulder-to-shoulder crowded. When I made a Facebook post in the group, I remember when Century 3 Mall was nice, asking for any stories or memories, I got a pretty good number of responses. I couldn't confirm dates for some of these events, so they might be out of order, but these are the ones that stood out the most. One member told me that there was an interactive installation for Club MTV where you could see yourself on a screen and that she got a crop top. She guessed that was sometime in 1990. Another member told me she remembered a Halloween costume contest on the stage that used to be in front of the Kaufman's department store sometime in the 1980s. And then a third member of the group fondly recalled doing a fashion shows with her cheerleading team for Deb and a few other stores in the mall, noting that her favorite outfit was a white front tie shirt with a half denim, half tulle miniskirt. Other notable events from the mall's golden years were annual car shows that took place in between the 90s and the early 2000s, along with a special event on October 8th, 1994, where Richard Simmons danced on stage in the mall. I quote from shoppingisafeeling.net. Dressed in a hot pink tank top, adorned with music notes, his signature short shorts, and gleaming white tennis shoes, he embodied his larger-than-life persona that had been seen on infomercials and VHS workout tapes throughout the 1980s and 1990s. End quote.
Are you a smart shopper? Do you take time for yourself? A couple no's, huh? If you lost 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds, come on the stage right now. Right now, come on the stage and be my motivation. Help me inspire these people. Come on up here now. Wow.
I lost 10 pounds, that's about it. You could never lose 50 pounds. Roger, that's happening.
I know. That's good. That's a lot of
Is
work.
that yours? Can I see it? Can I see it? Wow, is this your before picture? How much have you lost? 87 pounds. Listen to how much these people have lost. How much? 50? 25. 70. 50. 68. 75. 115. 60. 40. 125. 100. 132, 120, 100, 60. Now give them a big.
Throughout the mall's life, JCPenney and Sears were the two anchor stores that always stayed the same. However, the other three anchor buildings went through several rounds of musical tenants. See what I did there? Okay. The Montgomery Ward store closed its doors in 1986. It was then replaced by Joseph Horne's, which relocated from Brentwood. In 1994, Federated Department Stores bought the Horne's portfolio and converted all stores into Lazarus locations. In 1999, Federated closed several Lazarus stores. This included the location at Century 3. Shortly after, Kaufman's took over, making it a furniture gallery. In 2006, it was converted into Macy's Furniture Gallery, which closed in 2009. Unfortunately, the building would stay vacant for the remainder of the mall's life after the closure. However, it would briefly get a little screen time when the Netflix show Mindhunter would dress it up as a hotel and atrium, briefly demolishing the giant wall that was constructed, blocking the wing off after the furniture gallery shut down. The wall was then rebuilt, much to the dismay of myself and my fellow dead mall aficionados once filming Wrapped. Note the architecture of the Ward's anchor. I love the glass overhangs and the overall look of the building. You don't see many modern department stores with that type of detail anymore. The Gimbel's location also had an interesting history. The store only lasted till 1988 when it closed its doors due to the chain filing for bankruptcy. The Di Bartolo Corporation tried for years to find a replacement, but the anchor remained empty till 1994 when the upper level became a Marshall's and the lower level became a TJ Maxx. Marshall's left in 1996 and was replaced by Wick's Furniture the following year. Wick's closed in 2004 and was replaced by Dick's Sporting Goods, which would remain at the mall till March 30th of 2019.
This morning we have learned the Dick's Sporting Goods store at Century 3 Mall is going to close. A sign was spotted outside the store. There it is, saying that it will close on Saturday. Earlier this year, the mall was forced to close as repairs were being made to the sprinkler system. Tenants evicted, and only the Dick's Sporting Goods and the JCPenney's locations remained open. Earlier this month, though, a judge granted the mall's ownership approval to reject the lease for the Dick's Sporting Goods property in order to make way for redevelopment of the property.
TJ Maxx would leave in 2003 and be replaced by Steve & Barry's. Steve & Barry's would remain on the lower level till the chain filed for bankruptcy in 2009. After that, the lower level of the anchor would remain empty for the rest of the mall's life, only to be occasionally occupied by Spirit of Halloween. Kaufman's at the mall would have a much simpler history. It was converted into Macy's by Federated in 2006 and would close its doors in March of 2016. Right around the time that Dead Mall series creator Dan Bell would visit the mall, giving it internet stardom.
Truck 295 on scene for instructions.
A fire would take place in the elevator shaft of the Sears on Black Friday in 2012. The damage was repaired and the store remained open at the mall till its closure on December of 2014. JCPenney would remain at the mall, closing in October of 2020, outlasting the mall and Dick's Sporting Goods. While all the changes took place with the anchor stores, Simon Property Group acquired the mall in 1996. Simon would renovate the mall, adding lots of skylights to the mall concourses and the removal of the stage in the center court. They would also add in the carpet Dan Bell liked so much, and a nice fountain in place of the stage. Other than the renovations, Simon didn't do much with the mall. In 2009, they even put up permanent barricades blocking off the upper levels of the parking garage and built a wall blocking off the Macy's furniture wing that I mentioned earlier, opting instead to focus on their other properties, like the nearby South Hills Village and Ross Park Mall, which are both still operating today. Competition from other malls in the area and the open-air mall, the Waterfront, made it difficult for Century 3 to compete. Simon defaulted on its loan for the mall in August of 2011. The lenders took ownership and maintained the mall till known mall slumlords Moonbeam Capital Group out of Las Vegas purchased the mall in May of 2013. If you're not familiar with Moonbeam, they buy dead malls claiming they will fix them up and provide new life. They'll talk a good game, provide plans for changes in redevelopment, then collect rent from tenants and put none of that money into the properties they own. The three most publicized malls Moonbeam has killed off have been the Shoppingtown Mall in New York, the Burlington Center Mall, which used to be in New Jersey, and the Gwinnett Place Mall, aka Starcourt Mall, for all my fellow Stranger Things fans. And that one was located in Georgia. However, rather surprisingly, Moonbeam did install a carousel in one of the courts near the former Gimbel's anchor. It remained in the mall till 2018 when it was dismantled and removed. In addition to Mindhunter filming at the mall, rapper Wiz Khalifa released a music video on YouTube in 2010 for his song Mezmorized. In the video, there's several clips of him walking inside and hanging out in the parking lot at the mall. Another rapper named Owie also released a song with the mall's name that was uploaded to YouTube in 2009.
I'm on the Century 3 shopping spree.
In 2015, the mall had a 60% vacancy rate. Sears leaving the year before likely didn't help matters. After Macy's left in 2016, there were mass closings, as many of the remaining tenants were in the west wing of the mall between Macy's and JCPenney.
Fronts. The once thriving mall now sitting virtually empty at times.
It is sad. Yeah, I'm originally from West Mifflin. We live out here in Pleasant Hills now, and we remember when Century 3 opened. It was Kaufman's and it went to Macy's. It's just sad.
The new owners, Moonbeam Capital Investments of Las Vegas, bought the mall with grand plans. A possible theater at one end. The center of the mall turned inside out to resemble an outdoor shopping plaza. Still, it's not winning over enough shoppers in the South Hills.
Heck no. I'll go South Hills Village because it's nice, clean, neat, no havoc, no muss, no fuss.
I think it's a shame. There's not much places to shop around here, and pretty soon Century 3 Mall is going to close down as well.
The borough of West Mifflin had high hopes too. The mall's value has plummeted over the years. Tax revenue is way down as well. Bankruptcy filings, a decline in mall traffic, and with Macy's pulling out, that leaves Dick's Sporting Goods and JCPenney as the two remaining anchor tenants. There used to be 5.
There's not much left there. I don't really even go there anymore. It's sad. We live 5 minutes from here, so driving all the way to South Hills Village is not convenient, but there's not really much of a reason to come here.
A lot of sad faces there today. The clearance sales will begin at the Century 3's Macy's store beginning on Monday, January 11th.
The damage done by Macy's departure brought the mall to only a 10% occupancy rate by December of 2017. The final food court tenant, Italian Village Pizza, also left the mall in that year.
Hey, Stretch. Hi, Dave. This is the last drink of Italian Village Pizza at Century 3 Mall. This is nuts.
By 2018, the situation was dire. In January, a fire sprinkler pipe burst near the former Macy's and flooded the first floor of the mall, while also causing some interior damage to the former department store itself. The last restaurant in the mall, Old Mexico, closed in April. A sheriff's sale was scheduled to take place, which inspired a walkthrough of over 200 people who wanted to walk the mall one last time. The sale was postponed after Moonbeam filed for bankruptcy at the last minute. The entire East Wing was closed off to the public around this time, and security at the mall started getting very aggressive, with guests taking pictures and video in the mall.
Breaking news now, Century 3 Mall has been shut down. Signs posted on the doors that say it's uninhabitable.
And so what forced officials to close the mall? Ralph Iannotti is asking that question, and he is live with more tonight. Ralph.
Thanks very much, Susan. Tonight, troubles are piling up for Century 3 Mall behind me here in West Mifflin. Now, earlier today, a West Mifflin code enforcement officer posted notices on mall entrances saying the mall was unsafe and uninhabitable. He said the building must be repaired, vacated, or demolished. The reason, according to West Mifflin Mayor Chris Kelly, the mall's sprinkler suppression system failed and there's no heat in the mall. Mayor Kelly said stores like JCPenney and Dick's at the mall are open because they have separate sprinkler systems. Now, last September, the owners of the mall, Las Vegas-based Moonbeam Capital Investments, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Now, there have been a number of sheriff's sales scheduled for the Century 3 Mall. However, they were all canceled last year. Now, late today, the mayor here, Chris Kelly, sent a very strongly worded email to the chief operating officer of Moonbeam, Shaul Pryor. In part, Kelly said Moonbeam has done nothing for our community but drained our resources and caused financial restrictions. Shame on you, Shaul Pryor. It's time for you to grab your hat, coat, and leave. Let us do the right thing for our residents.
In February of 2019, the city of West Mifflin determined the mall as unsafe and uninhabitable due to several code violations. By February 15th, one of the mall staples, New Dimension Comics, announced they were relocating to the waterfront. Rather than fix the issues with the building, Moonbeam instead issued eviction notices to the small number of remaining tenants, and the mall was officially closed on February 16th of 2019. In the same year, Moonbeam claimed they sold the mall on their website, then turned around and announced plans to redevelop the mall site in April, with renderings showing the whole mall being demolished for a mixed-use development anchored by JCPenney, which was still open at the time. In a move that shocked no one, the redevelopment never happened, and the entire mall was boarded up to be left abandoned. Moonbeam's sins were coming back to bite them around the time of the mall's closure, as both Sears and the company that cleaned up after the flood were taking legal action. Sears was suing Moonbeam for violating an agreement to purchase the former department store building when the store shuttered, while the cleanup company was never paid for their work. Moonbeam lost both lawsuits. After the mall's closure, many members of the dead retail community would go to the JCPenney store and take photos and video through the closed gates looking out into the mall. What they saw was dead palm trees, leaky ceilings, and electricity still running the lights in the mall concourse. It wasn't till YouTube creator Ace's Adventures released a nighttime explore of the mall in the fall of 2020 that the community really got to see how the old mall was holding up. The video showed dimly lit corridors from emergency lights and graffiti on the walls in the East Wing. After JCPenney left the mall, the vandalism and decay really took off as more and more vagrants were breaking into the mall, scrapping what they could, and destroying everything in sight. Many urban explorers were finding their way inside, along with vandals claiming to be explorers. The Urbex code is simple. Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints. That's how you can tell the difference between the liars and the people who want to preserve these places in video or photograph form. That's my rant. Back to the mall. The mall was getting a lot of media attention between Moonbeam's legal issues and the daily occurrence of trespassers. In April of 2023, a fire broke out in the East Wing near the food court.
There was heavy smoke coming from the building. The medics tried to make entry, make sure there's nobody in there.
Within minutes, crews from around the South Hills of Pittsburgh and as far away as northeastern Washington County streamed toward West Mifflin to try to help find and put out the fire.
When they entered, there was a lot of smoke. They had a hard time locating the fire. Finally, they located the fire, which is above the food court and the walls and in the old recruiting station.
While many people, including me, thought it was electrical due to all the water leaks from the failing roof and the power still being on at the time, the fire was later determined to be arson and was what got utilities to the mall shut off. Around the beginning of June, a teenager on the roof of the mall fell through an open hatch. After these incidents, the West Mifflin Police Department began cracking down on people going into the mall. YouTubers were being identified in their videos and charged with trespassing, while a long court battle between the city and Moonbeam was going on. Later, in August of 2023, a portion of the roof on the east wing collapsed. This was determined to also be from the fire in April. Menard's Home Improvement was reported to have put in an offer on the property in this same year, but ultimately backed out of the deal. In March of 2024, after the mall had been condemned, a judge ordered Moonbeam to demolish it. They had a month to show good faith, and sure enough, Niswonger Construction was brought in. At the time of the production of this video, the parking garage is actively being demolished while materials are being removed from the mall interior. One can only speculate what will happen to the land. Chances are it will be sold and redeveloped. To sum it all up, Century 3 was a product of neglect. The golden years began and ended with the DeBartolo Corporation, and the decline slowly began after Simon Property Group renovated the mall. Once Moonbeam purchased the mall, it was all over. Even when the mall was still open, the lack of maintenance could be seen, specifically with the roof needing repairs and extra supports holding up the parking garage. Simon has shown that they know how to run a mall. Right off the bat, I can think of both the Florida Mall in Orlando and the Fashion Place Mall in the suburbs of Salt Lake City, Utah. Would things have turned out differently if they'd put more effort into the mall? One can only speculate at this point. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy my content, feel free to subscribe. I make videos like this and yearly updates for my mall that I've been constructing in Minecraft.